Hey everyone, Mike Gillette on an early morning drive to the airport. And I'm wondering what it is that you would say to you if you were about to embark on an important task. What would you say to you if you were about to embark on an important task? And the reason that question is appropriate this morning is because I'm heading to the airport to meet up with my longtime client, aspiring Olympic wrestler Lauren Louis. Lauren is about to head to Sweden for an international tournament, and from there she'll be traveling to the Ukraine for another international tournament. And this is the first time that she's done two tournaments of an international nature back to back. That is without a intervening return trip back home to the States. So it's going to be sort of an extended deployment for her, as well as a high stakes trip in terms of its competitive significance. Now, my relationship with Lauren has stretched out almost a year now in terms of us working one-on-one, and we've spent a lot of time covering quite a few things. So what I'll be sharing with her in these last few moments before she boards her flight is really, review of sorts, of specific things that we've been working on lately, because our work together is of a progressive nature. We're adding skills, and we're also exploring each one of those mental skills on a deeper level, which is great if you're an elite athlete. But let's say that you're not an elite athlete, you're you. I'm assuming you're not an elite athlete in this case. So if you were about to leave on a great journey, a great quest, so to speak, what is it that you would say to you? I mean, if you didn't have a mind coach with whom you had been strategizing for many months, and perhaps it wouldn't be conceptually all that different from what Lauren and I will be talking about this morning before we continue our conversations via Skype. You might remind yourself of the work that you had put in leading up to this thing. You might reflect on all the time that you were focused on this thing when it would have been much easier, perhaps more convenient, to be focused on other things, less demanding things. You might reflect on the plan that you have in place, the plan that ultimately led you here, because you followed that plan and you worked your plan. When people talk about, don't focus on the outcome, focus on the process, you might be focusing on your process, which would include your plan and other things as well. It also points out the importance of having a process. We don't get to any place meaningful without one, without a strategic plan. And perhaps lastly, you would reflect on it is that drives you. What is it that makes this thing that you're about to do inherently meaningful? Its importance, its value to you. Reflecting on what coaches like to talk about, the why, your why. You might reflect on that, and you might continue to sort of reflect on all those things, as well as any specific tasks performance-wise that you had identified as a recent priority. Remember to do this and remember to do this, those kinds of things. So even if you don't have a personal coach or a team of coaches with whom you're working, you can still engage in a very productive dialogue with yourself, just remembering those things that are important and that have brought you to this point that you are now. I hope that you have a journey that's worthy of you. I hope you have a journey to pursue that is meaningful, that provides value to your life. Here's to your journey.